Hello, this is a video all about elementary scheduling, and it involves several steps. And the first step in the process is probably the most time consuming. So the first thing you're going to want to do is write down a plan. So right now there are two third grade classrooms. The teacher is Sharp and Hale. So we're adding a third classroom for third grade, and that teacher is going to be Pearson. So all third graders, they go to art with Mr. Cunningham. They go to science with their respective teachers. So they're going to go, if they're in Sharp's class, they'll stay in science with Sharp. They're in Hale's class, they'll stay in science with Hale, etc. Math, they all go to Sharp. Music, they go to Fraser. Phys ed, they go to Holland. For reading, they're with their respective teacher. For social studies, they're with Hale. For spelling, they're with their respective teacher. And new this year, they're going to add writing, and that will be with their respective teacher. So the teachers are Sharp's in room 208, Hale's in 108, and Pearson's in 211. And I strongly encourage you to write all this down, have it next to you. Then we're going to go into Dazzle in the next school year. So you want to be in 2021 and type course groups in the cheater. It takes you straight to the course groups maintenance. You may need to pick your default schedule and hit reload the screen. If it's the first time you're in this page this school year, you'll need to select that. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit search. So right now we've got these two third grade classrooms, A and B. I'm going to go ahead and edit this. A is going to be with Sharp. And something to keep in mind, this is just a name. It's for our reference only. It doesn't mean anything to Dazzle. For B, I'm going to change this to Hale. So again, this is for my reference, so I can keep things straight. Now I want to add a third one. So I'm going to call this third grade Pearson. And it's not going to let me type it all out in the code, but that's okay. I'll just type what I can and hit save. Now let's go with Sharp. She's our first teacher. You pencil that and go to tab number 2. Tab number 2 is the most important. So here's all the classes. Now let's pull up my list, and I'm going to compare these side by side. Art, got it. Health, science, got it. Math, got it. Music, got it. Phys ed, okay. Reading, okay. Social studies, okay. Spelling, okay. Writing, I need to add that. So I would come here and I would do writing is 03110, and I'd hit add course. That's what adds it up top here. Now I need to come to this section and add a section. And for art, section 1 with Cunningham. Health, well, this is Sharp's class, so I choose Sharp. Math is taught by Sharp. Music is taught by Mr. Fraser. Phys ed, Mr. Holland. And you notice I'm choosing section 1 for all of these. It honestly really doesn't matter, but that's how I'm keeping everything straight. Reading was Sharp. Social studies, Hale. And spelling was the respective teacher, and so is writing and grammar. The capacity, I'm going to stick with 25 because that's what all of these classes have. And I'm going to hit save. Now I need to do the same thing with Hale. So I'd come to the second tab, I would go here, double check all these classes, and then I'm going to add writing. And then I would go add the section and fill out each section. Now you might be wondering, well, how do I get Pearson? That teacher doesn't even show. So if we go back to Sharp, so notice in these drop downs, Pearson wasn't showing at all. So how do we get them in here? Well, we need to go add a section for Sharp for every one of these classes. So I'm going to go to course sections with an S, comes back directly to that page. You may need to load a working schedule and a result set and then reload screen. So for art, I need to add another section of, oops, didn't want to do that. Click the green and we're going to add 030 and I want this to be section 3. Because I like to stay in order. This honestly doesn't matter that much. So this is in all your class. I only have one thing to choose from. I go to the second tab and here's where I tell Dazzle that it's Mr. Cunningham. It's in the gym. And really the period doesn't matter either, since this is an elementary and the batch scheduler isn't getting run. So now I would go do this for every one of the classes. So I'm going to show you another one. I'm going to take that out and I'm going to add the reading. So the reading is one of those classes that we do with each respective teacher. So if you're in Sharp's class, you go reading with Sharp, Hale with reading, and then Pearson with reading. So we're going to go ahead and add that reading, which is 03070 and section 3. Say it has 25 and it's in all your class. And I go to meeting times and I am going to pick Pearson. And Pearson is in room 211. And again, the period doesn't matter since I'm at the elementary. So now if I look up both of those that I just added this for, so reading is 03070. There are my 3 sections: Sharp, Hale, Pearson. That's what I need to see. If I go look up that art class, 03010, I should have 3. Yes, there's my 3 sections. So I'm going to pause the video here and I'm going to go add the rest of these and we'll start back up. All right, I'm back. So I have them all added. Here's the last one, writing. And I have those 3 teachers, 3 sections. So let's go back to course groups. So I type course groups in the cheater. Hit search. So now I've got this 3rd grade Pearson. I want to pencil. Go to tab number 2. And here's where I need to tell Dazzle all these classes. So 13010, add. 13030, add. Oops. Bear with me here. 03030, I accidentally hit the enter key and I shouldn't have done that. So I add health, now I add math, 13040, add music. So don't hit your enter key on your keyboard when you're typing in here. I was being lazy and trying to avoid having to click my mouse. So there's reading. I'm almost done. Bear with me. I have 3 more. And you want to add all these at the top first. Don't try to go down and add each individual section. You've got to get the top part right before you move on to the actual section of the group. So there's spelling, and now let's add that writing. That's the new one we're adding this year. So here's all those classes that 3rd graders take. Now we come down here and add a section. So for art, it is the section 3. For health, it's the section 3. For math, section 3. Now just select number 3 for all of these. Save. Oh, got to put in a capacity. So I'll put 25 in there because that's what all these are. It wouldn't matter. I could put 20. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be consistent. Voila. Again, this part is going to take you the longest. You need to make sure that each one of these, when you go to the tab number 2, that's the most important piece, that every class is filled in here and you have no errors. So if you have art, you need a different section of art for each set of kids. You cannot keep reusing the same art section. So what do I mean by that? And that's another thing I think people find trickiest to understand. I'll just make one section of art and all the kids will go to it. That'll be easy for me. Watch what happens. So this section 3 is hooked to that Pearson. And you try to save, and it's going to tell you that it's already assigned to a different group, 3rd grade Pearson. That's why it's so important that you have a separate section for each set of students. All right, this is the first video. Good luck. And there will be more with steps number 2 and 3 and so forth.